In this video, I'm going to be talking about the different commanders in Total War Arena. Units are important, but commanders are arguably the most important factor in how your units perform on the battlefield. So we're going to be starting out with Alexander the Great, and what determines how effective commanders are on the battlefield are their abilities, the level their abilities are at, and which units they can use those abilities on. So for Alexander here, I'll just give him an infantry unit, Thereo Spears. For Alexander, his abilities are Hammer, Anvil, Rapid Advance, and Wedge. And these abilities don't always work on all units. Now, Rapid Advance works on all units, so Rapid Advance can be used on skirmishers, cavalry, and infantry, and it makes them faster. In this case, increased acceleration, turn speed, and speed for 30 seconds. Very useful, and it can be used by all units. But this top hammer, one of the cool things about Alexander is that he has a charge for both infantry and for cavalry. So his hammer can be used by these Thereos, and it can be used by these companion cavalry. Now, cavalry units will have a charge on their own, but it's not nearly as powerful as the charge a commander like Scipio or Alexander can give them. Another special thing about the ability of Alexander is that he has Anvil, so it will reduce the charge deflection of a unit, and it will make it unable to move, in this case at tier 5, for 40 seconds. So that gives you plenty of time to send in your, let's say you rapid advance your Thereo Spearmen into an engagement, you hammer to charge in, do some damage, you anvil, then you can stop the enemy unit for 40 seconds and reduce their charge deflection, and when you then send in your companion cavalry with their hammer, the damage is going to be immense. You can destroy and break units immediately. Then we have the wedge formation. Wedge formation reduces melee defense by a massive 80% here, but increases charge impact and charge bonus. So this is an ability that would be ideal used together. This is one of the reasons why I think Alexander is so cool, because if you send in your infantry with the hammer charge, then you anvil, then you rapid advance around the flanks with your cavalry and use a wedge plus the hammer, the amount of damage Alexander can do is extreme. However, he is very much flanking and holding commander, because he doesn't have any abilities for extended melee other than the anvil ability to extend the melee. So with Alexander you get a hard hitting general that is very capable of taking units head on, but Alexander can run into problems against the Germanicus or Scipio, because Scipio of course can use Oath of Perseverance, Warcry. Germanicus has his heavy infantry charge and vengeance, but Alexander can deal with those commanders if played well. It's just a bit hard because you have no real counters against Warcry and Fear, or indeed Miltiades is Fear. So I'll talk more about the other commanders in coming videos. I'm just going to run down the line, start with Alexander and do all of the other ones. But if you like to use infantry together with cavalry, infantry as the anvil, cavalry as the hammer, then Alexander is a perfect commander. And also, if you like to move around the battlefield really quickly, rapid advance will allow you to do that. And if you use fast cavalry like citizen cavalry is only medium cavalry, then you will be able to cover a lot of ground very quickly, get into the backs of the enemy, go hunt for enemy war machine crews, which will give you a lot of points, and that makes Alexander one of my favorite commanders. Strength and honor.